You're gonna make me laugh.
I saw that. You're like, you were about to say something.
I can't do it. All right. This is how you felt.
Yeah, I know. Is your eye sweating? There's nothing like it.
Okay. Welcome back to Just Joshing with Jakota. I'm Josh. That's Jakota, and this is Christy again, visiting for the show. Today we have a topic from last time. Sully was hanging on to that. If you watched last episode, we ended with a question from the lunchbox. Most trouble as kids. So we'll probably get into that in some way.
Most trouble as kids?
So what does that mean?
Most trouble we got into as kids, I think.
Like the most... Okay, I'm going to have to think about that.
I've never been in trouble.
Well, your mom is too, chill. But you've definitely been in trouble.
Yeah, mostly with the law.
Yeah,
okay,
that
yeah, I
counts.
guess that counts. Yeah, okay. So it's not just limited to parents catching.
No.
Okay.
Trouble as kids. I would say from birth to 18.
Okay.
Okay, I have a story. Okay, actually, you know what? Before we start that, I have to tell you guys what happened to me. I think it was 2 days ago. I was sick as a dog for the last week. I had the vert and I had it all freaking week. And then on Friday, I think it was Friday? Was it Saturday? Today's Sunday, right? So it was 2 days ago on Friday. I was like, oh, I gotta go and get food because no matter if you're sick or not, you have to go get food. I don't have any food in my house. It's all just, I do have food in my house, but I have to cook it.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Right, yeah.
Right? So I was like, oh, I'd rather drive than cook. So that's what I did. Got in the car, started driving. And you guys know when you leave my house and to get back onto the highway, you have to turn right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you go past the distillery.
Yeah.
And then you get to the stop sign.
Yeah.
And then there's the highway.
Yeah.
And then you can either go west or east.
Yeah.
Okay. I was at that stop sign. And this guy in an SUV, you know how you can go straight and then left? Or you can go...
Yeah, there's
right?
a median because it's a highway.
Right.
Yeah.
It's two ways. There's two... And then you go this way. So pretend this is a car. This guy...
Hold on. And this can be you.
yeah. Okay, so this guy stops his car right here. And I'm pulling up, okay? And then this is where you turn or whatever.
Okay.
And then this is where you can go like this. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Here's the median or the... He stops right here, but not even out of the way.
Wait, this is north-south?
This is north-south.
Okay.
This is west-east.
Okay.
Okay, so I have to turn this way to go east. Okay, that's where I'm driving.
So he's facing the way you need to go.
He's facing east, where I need to go. Okay?
All right.
Okay.
But he stops his SUV, gets out of his car, and is like doing this. Okay. My window was up, so I couldn't hear him. Who knows what he sounded like, right? I'm speculating here. Gets out of his car. I'm like, oh, is this guy in trouble? He was... He freaking sees me, and then so we make eye contact or whatever, and then I'm like, is he coming over here? He's definitely coming over here.
Wait, what are you driving?
Mom's car. I'm driving Mom's car. Okay? The white car.
Yeah.
He comes up to the window, slams his hand onto the freaking... Oh my God! Please help me! I was like, yo, what's wrong? He's like, oh my God! The fate of the world depends on it. I was like, oh no.
Oh my God.
I was like, what is happening? He's like, you need to take me to Spruce Grove. I was like, Spruce, okay, what's wrong though? He's like, I got news of Armageddon.
No.
I'm not lying to you guys. Okay? He said the fate of humanity, I swear to God, it sounds like I'm making this up. Okay? And I'm not. This happened to me. And I'll even tell you what this guy looked like. leather jacket,
Of course.
cargo pants,
Yes.
no hair,
Sunglasses?
no sunglasses, scruff.
Okay.
Middle-aged.
If you did wear sunglasses, would they be gas station sunglasses?
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay? No hair, like not bald, but like buzz that
Like
shit.
buzzed?
Right?
Okay,
It's but you could tell that he probably cut it off because he was probably, I'm assuming he was
Saving the world.
probably going bald.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had short hair to save the world.
Well, apparently that's
He's like, oh no.
the fate was in his
So
hands.
yeah. So like
Okay.
that's what he kind of. I don't know. See if I can. He kind of looks like that guy off of. Have you guys seen? Dang it, I don't have my phone. If you look up, what's that war movie with Ben Affleck and Josh Hartnett and they fly planes? Pearl Harbor. The guy that's like they remember when they got into the car or they were sleeping in the car or whatever, and then they like wake up to the Pearl Harbor getting bombed. So they
Yeah.
take that car and they go to that area.
Right, in their Hawaiian shirts.
Yes, yeah. So you know that guy. Oh my god, get a shotgun. He has that huge freaking thing. Look up Pearl Harbor guy at the air. I wish I knew what his name was.
Guy at...
He has a shotgun. He's like,
Okay.
he shoots the shotgun and he shoots the. He's like, come on. He's on the big huge.
I have no
talking-
idea. I've never seen it. So.
You haven't seen Pearl Harbor?
No, I have not.
Oh, great movie.
Okay, well, I'll watch it now.
It's so good.
Wait,
this guy.
It'll make you cry.
Okay.
Yeah, it is sad. Oh, shit. It's tragic. This guy.
Yes! Imagine him! Yes! That's what he looked like. Okay? Show her.
Okay.
Okay.
He's in a lot of war movies.
Yeah.
That's what he looked like. Okay?
Okay.
So he looked like that, but he was in a leather jacket. Okay?
Yeah.
And cargo pants. Okay?
Dude, he looks like serious business then.
Yes! Which is, I was kind of like...
He's like, oh, I gotta help you. And you're like,
And
of course.
he's on his knees, like to so that we're at eye level or whatever, right?
Wait,
Yeah.
he's not like...
he's
squatting.
crouching. He's
He's
crouching.
on his knees.
No. Okay, yeah, you're right. He's doing whatever you
Okay, because
said.
that would be insane.
Yes, sorry. He's
He's just like on his knees. Help!
okay. So I'm like, okay. I'm starting that like,
It's the apocalypse.
yeah. I have imperative news. And I was like, okay,
Tell me.
where do you need to go? He's like, I need to go to my mother's house. I was
Wait,
like, wait a second.
Dude, is he on the phone right now?
No. Why did I do that? Not on the phone. He's talking to me directly. Why did I do that? I got it right because he said I need to call my mother.
Oh,
He
okay.
said. He said I need to get a hold of my mother. I think right, and all this time that he's crying, okay, but he's not. Nothing's coming out of his eyes. Hey, guys, Armageddon! Come on, please! Right? So like my brain is going like, okay, ask logical questions. Where do you need to go? Okay, I got that. Spruce Grove. What's wrong? Armageddon. Where do you need to go? To your mother's house. And then I started thinking, this isn't my car. I don't even know you. First of all, you look scary. And I'm thinking of all these things, like I was like, and then I look behind me. There's like 12 cars. I was like, you know what, dude? I'm sorry, bro. I can't help you. I started like rolling up the window. He's like, please, the world depends on it. And then like I started driving, and then he slammed his hands on the. Dude, I swear to God, this is like a freaking movie. He like slams his hands on the car. I was like, oh shit, and I like took off. Okay, now my brain's going like, what the just happened there? He's like, I'm looking obviously like trying to see him, right? He there's other cars that are now, they've seen him obviously stopping me, and
Right.
took at least, I don't know, probably 40 seconds at least. I was talking to him for at least 40 seconds.
Right.
Okay. It was brief, but it was like a long time to these people behind me.
Right.
Well, yeah.
So like, I rip it. I was like, not my car. Armageddon. What? And it was funny because not how many days ago we were talking about Jesus dreams that we had. So that, and I was like, wait a minute, Armageddon. But then I started thinking about it logically. I was like, okay, if had he had this information, okay, let's just give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay,
Right, yeah.
he has this information. Why wouldn't he call the police? Or someone that can actually.
Or
why would you go to your mother's house?
And why wouldn't he just drive? Like
he ran out of gas.
Oh, he ran out of gas. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
that's why he ran out of his car and was like, or whatever, right? Yes, so he ran out of gas. Sorry, I forgot that. That was another question. I was like, why don't you? I just ran out of gas. I did. Armageddon, please. And that's what he was doing, and he was crying, but there was no tears. So all these things, I was like, okay, no tears. So this tells me that either he's on something or mental health. Okay, there's clearly something here.
On.
So then I was thinking, I was like, what if I let him in my car and then he stole the car? Or if he stole that vehicle that he just got out of?
Yeah.
And now I'm an accessory to
something,
right?
Yeah.
So all of these things I'm thinking, but then I was like,
how would you explain that? No, officer, he knew about the freaking
Armageddon.
right?
like he told me this. So I'm driving and I was like, should I call the police? What do I do here? And I was on my way to get food and I felt like a bag of dicks, right? I didn't feel good. So I was just like, oh, if I call somebody, I might have to just stick around or whatever, right?
Yeah.
No shit. I was like, you know what? Whatever. You know what? I saw him
Talk to
to
the
someone
next guy.
else, right?
Yeah.
Someone else stopped and they rolled down their window. So I saw that and I was like, okay, well, not my
See
problem.
someone else's problem.
Not my problem anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I was like, what if he's still there when I go back? So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna cut through the
Go the other way.
Parkland driveway instead of the 16A. Then I was like, nah.
He won't be
I'm
there.
sure it's fine.
He was not still there.
So I'm freaking driving. I was like, I bet you there's police there already. There has to be, because if he told that person the same thing that he told me, they're absolutely going mental health. I'm calling the police, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, definitely.
Right? They were driving a Cadillac, so I'm sure that I'm probably stereotyping these people, but probably judged them. Rightfully so. He was crazy. So
Yeah.
I ended up taking the way and no shot. There was police. I saw the lights. And I was like, no shot. Is that? And it was so there's an overpass right before you turn,
Right. Yeah.
and the cop car was right.
Dude, he started hoofing it?
I think so. I think they all must have been like, you're crazy, dude, and must have, and then called the police.
Seriously.
Called the police or something. And so I didn't see. I saw the cop vehicle
Right.
lights on,
But you didn't see him.
I didn't see anyone. Just just that, right? And I couldn't rubberneck too much because I was driving. So.
Right.
I was relieved because I didn't. What if he was like, hey, right? Started. I don't know. What if he was on something, right? Because he was like this.
Right.
Well, he had to.
Right? He was hysterical, dude. He was not good.
I wonder what was wrong.
Dude.
Yeah, I'm so curious.
think
I
he
have so many questions right
he
now.
was lying. So did I. There was too many people behind me
So
that I
many
couldn't
questions.
have a full interrogation and go,
Right.
so did you do it?
You know what? If you would have driven him, you probably would have found out more information.
For sure. But then I was scared for my
The risk,
safety.
yeah.
He was a big boy.
Yeah, there's no.
He was a big man.
No, you shouldn't.
And he slammed the freaking hands on the car like a.
He really wanted to get his point across. Maybe, I wonder what it actually was. He really had to feed his dog or something. Or
Oh no. He ran out of gas. Why wouldn't you just gas up before you knew that you had a. He was coming from.
He was mad close to a gas station. though.
Very close. He was 2 minutes away from a gas station.
So he could have just walked to the gas station.
No, that's 2 minutes. That's a
2 minutes driving at
highway.
120.
Oh,
Highway. 2 minutes
But
highway.
still, I'm just full of questions. I just want to know all the things.
Yeah, what?
Yeah. Very strange.
What happened to him?
I don't know what happened, but it was trippy because of what we were talking about.
Yeah.
And then
Armageddon.
that happened.
Dude.
And I was like, is this a sign? What? What if this is the moment that
This is what I need.
in my dream? Jesus told me I have something special for you. Is what he said.
Oh,
He said,
you're like,
I have something.
this
planned
is
for you."
it.
Yeah, like, oh my god, here's my
And
moment.
you're like,
And I was like, nah. Get out of my way. Dude,
No, thank you. Not today.
sketchy.
will you be here tomorrow?
I wish I would have had like some sort of
Recording,
Recording or-
dude, that's nuts.
That is insane.
Dude,
that,
right?
That almost sounds made up.
it sounds exactly made up.
Because I don't think you'd make
No,
You could have uncovered like a big conspiracy. It does sound made up.
Yeah.
it does sound made up.
Uh,
You know what's
But like,
Must have
weird
been
shit's happened.
going through some shit because like
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
wasn't embarrassed, right?
No, he was scared.
He was terrified of something.
That is just
but the
crazy.
logic didn't make any sense.
Well, he was probably on something, and then his like paranoia that he probably has in his real life would like collided with whatever he was high on, and he was just like, "Let's go down a road right now."
Let's try this one out.
I don't know. I also had so many questions, dude. I went home right after that and I told my roommates like immediately.
Did they go out and look for him?
No.
That would be hilarious, man. That's weird. That actually reminds me for some reason. So I had this client. Yeah, this is a kind of a long story. Okay,
Right. I know what you're talking about.
So this client, yeah, you worked for them too,
Briefly.
with me, right? Or even without me, maybe?
No.
No, just with me. Okay. And I've had quite a few people work with me out there. They had so many jobs. They were my first client. Great people. Paid me extra bonuses so often, which was awesome. So I got to know them quite well because they're always paying me extra money. So I'm like, hey, this is nice. Hey,
This
what's
is
going on?
great
Hey,
relationship.
whatever. And they're like trying to figure out what kind of art they want to put in their new house. And they knew I was an artist, so they're like, oh yeah, we have this blah blah blah. Anyways, get to talking about they came from Winnipeg or something. I can't remember where they lived exactly, but anyways, they came from over there, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I had a campground over there and such." Right? I'm just hearing like little bits of stuff here and there, and I didn't really ask about it. Yeah, cool. You had a campground, whatever. Her husband, he has cancer, so you can tell he's like withering away, but he's like, pretty like
That's the worst.
like up and about kind of. But he's clearly sick, right? He like looks like he has cancer. He looks
Terrible.
stereotypically cancerous.
If I had cancer, I wouldn't even do the treatment. I would just die.
Yeah, but I'd get like
Well, it
eaten by a
depends
shark or
on-
something.
Screw that.
get what?
I'm gonna
Eaten by a shark or something. So
right.
cool.
if I have cancer already, might as well.
Eaten by a shark?
Like that's one way to go.
This is it's a cool story, that's for sure.
Yeah, but you can't tell it after you die.
No, other people can. Though.
Other people
You
can.
go along.
That is terrible. That would be horrible news. Oh, Christy's ripped apart. That's horrible.
Yeah, but I think it's like what a way to go. Like
Yeah, in future, like her kids, your grandkids, great grandkids,
Yeah,
whoever,
yeah, like
right?
that-
They'll be like, "Do you know what happened to Grandma?"
If you
She was a rock
saved
star.
somebody from a shark,
Oh, that's where
badass.
you have to time
if you
it.
just jumped in the water and went tally ho,
You're just on a ferry, you're just
cut
watching.
cut my arm open.
Yeah.
Oh, there's sharks here.
that's whack. Anyway, sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, so I'm hearing all this information. I'm working there quite regularly, like at least once a month for years. Anyway,
4 years.
4 years, like
for
FOR.
some years.
Right.
For quite some time. So first they built a shop, and I did the drywall and stuff in there. They did a lean-to house, and then they were going to build a real house beside the shop. And they built like an office and stuff, and they got me to do all sorts of things. Put up siding, all these different things. Build a shed, whatever.
Siding.
Yeah,
Nightmare.
yeah, dude, it's not good.
Drywall and siding.
Yeah, that's the worst trades, the easiest trades.
You get mad money on that shit, though.
Yeah, it's not
You
bad.
get siding, too.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm doing it, and I'm learning stuff. I see all their stuff, right? In their shop, they have their whole life in there, boxes and bags and stuff.
So you
right?
started going through some.
No.
How do I get to know you
But-
better?
So I built their office inside the shop. So it was
Oh,
just a
yeah.
little square, and
Right.
they wanted it to be mezzanine on top. So I built it, whatever, put a staircase up there, and they asked me to bring stuff up. And they're like, if things are too heavy, take it out, put it into more boxes to bring it up there, right? Because they have whatever. So I'm just doing that. I'm like, okay, well, so we got this. He was into like RC planes and stuff. So
That's cool.
Like I had to figure out like what is stuff he's going to use now, what is stuff not going to use. He had like swords and stuff, and he's like, "Oh yeah, my great grandfather, blah blah blah, whatever. This is his sword." I'm like, "Okay, that's interesting." Looking at it, there's like stuff from like that's just kind of odd, not necessarily weird, but kind of like, why do you have this? Like
That's cool.
he'd have like these books on like say potions, and then he would have, but like, dude, what? Okay, you're a witch. Okay.
That's cool.
Right? And then he would have like, okay, so he'd have that. He had this old ass antique sword that his grandfather or great grandfather had. Someone had. And all sorts of different like weird stuff like that. Guns and random stuff. I mean, lots of people have guns, but these were like old ass guns and stuff. Anyway, as I'm going through some boxes, I opened up one. This is actually kind of like near the end of it. I open it. And I'm like, oh, what is this? It's like shiny, but it's fabric. And I'm like, pull it out, and it's like a NASA jacket. I'm like, interesting. So I just have that
That's
for
pretty cool.
yeah. So I just have this knowledge. I don't ask him
Like
about
that one?
it. Not that one. Imagine he had a spacesuit. Frick, I would
would
have
be sick.
lost my mind. So this is okay. So keep that in mind.
Right.
A little bit later, they build their house. They actually get it moved. Actually, they get a house, put on a foundation. Why are you laughing?
What? No, I'm
Oh,
barely into the.
You look like you're laughing. So anyway, I'm helping them. They had a bunch of stuff in a car hauler, and now that their house was built, hey, bring all this stuff in there. It was stuff like, so the wife was a author, which I didn't know. These boxes were heavy as heck, and I'm like, dude, what is in these boxes? And they're too big for books. Like 2 people have to carry this. So I'm like,
Frick.
just like waddling into the house, and I'm like, what is this? I look in it, and it's all like books, but like not.
Encyclopedias.
No. Like they were like books that were like not books yet, you know?
Like blank books.
No. Like they weren't like binded. They were like
Like paper.
just paper, yeah, but like coiled up. But like they were books, you know what I mean? Like
No, I have no idea.
okay, like they're transcripts? No. They were like rough drafts before
Okay.
they were printed, right? They were like typed up on a typewriter,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
But they were thick.
So it's,
And so anyways,
okay. Anyways.
I asked, I'm like, and the name was like, not their name. It was like something, I can't remember what it was, but it sounded good. It sounded like an author. She's like, oh, that's my writing. I'm actually a published author, and this is my pen name. And these are my whatever, rough copies. Anyways, so, okay, you have these manuscripts or whatever. More boxes. I have to, like I say, I had to like separate them. And then I see more shit about NASA. And I see like chemical blah, blah, blah. So what they did, how they had so much money is they owned a chemical like manufacturing plant or something. So they made stuff for different applications, like roads for paving and stuff for like cleaners and all sorts of different things. And so they got these weird books. They got this weird old weaponry. They have a campground. They have a NASA jacket. They have NASA shit. So they're like, hey, you want to take a break? Yeah, I got some whatever. Have lunch. And I'm just like too curious. I'm like, so what is like this stuff here? Like, what do you do? And they're like, oh, you heard of the Challenger? I'm like the space shuttle? And she's like, yes. She's like, when that blew up, actually we blah, 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 and we came up with the chemical compound to help something, blah, 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 thruster something or other.
That's cool.
Yeah, so they had the thing. They went to NASA. They proposed their whatever, and I don't know what happened. And they gave them the jackets. That's what I found. I'm like, so that jacket. I have a picture of me wearing the jacket. I have no idea where it is. I've never published it because I didn't want them to see it.
Yeah.
You NASA?
Yeah, NASA. No, the clients. I didn't want the clients to see it because
Right.
not that they would, but I didn't want them to be like, dude, why is this guy putting on our clothes? You know?
They didn't let you put it on. You just did.
No, I just did. Yeah,
That is weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
it was cool though. I was like, dude, it's like, oh,
That's like if
What a
I went to
nerd.
like someone's house, saw a wig, and I was like, "Oh, this looks good."
no, that's weird. That's
What? How's that any different?
dude. This was a
If you
jacket.
put on someone's clothes.
Yeah, but it's not like I put on her underwear.
Okay.
You don't know that for sure.
Yeah.
Imagine it
Maybe
was.
she used it as underwear.
I put it on because it was cool,
like a
and I
fidget.
snapped a photo. Anyway, so throughout all this time, she also, when her husband's not home, is saying like, "Yeah, my husband used to be a very strong man," and I'm like, "All right, he has cancer, so that makes sense." And she's like, "I'm gonna make up a name for him, a surrogate name. I don't know if that's the right word. We'll call him
A nickname.
John."
Okay.
Okay, so
John.
she's like, yeah, John used to be a very strong man and taller. I was like, all right, that's kind of weird to say. Freaking just taping a wall. then like she would say weird stuff like that, and then she would say,
To you directly?
and then randomly other times
Yeah, that's weird.
she would be like, oh yeah. So going through the stuff, they had like actual gun, like modern guns as well, in a safe though. And I'm like, oh, is this a gun safe, or do you want me to put whatever? She's like, well, we don't really need them anymore. We needed that because when we had our campground, there was actually a murder. And I was like, what?
Now I need details.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, that was so interesting. But like, I didn't know what type of people they are. How
kind
much
of
can I
gun was
ask?
it?
I don't know. I never opened the safe. But I'm assuming they were modern guns because they were in a safe. Whereas old guns, you can just have them out.
Right.
Whatever, right? So anyway, so she has guns. There's a murder apparently. Books on potions. Okay, it's all going to come together as one thing.
Okay.
So years pass and John dies. Okay, her name is Phyllis, we'll say. Okay, so Phyllis goes, she's upset. Like he dies, and then she calls me, tells me that he dies. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's a bummer. He was a good dude. Whatever. He gave mom a lawnmower, a ride-on lawnmower.
Right.
Yeah, so out of the blue, that was kind of random. They didn't know that I was not a middleman in that at all. That just happened to be a thing, which was another thing that we talked about because somehow they started talking about Mennonites because mom grew up in a Mennonite community.
How
right?
did mom know?
I think it must have been like, oh, there's a lawnmower for sale.
Right.
And since I happened to be her son, it just got a better deal out of it or something. Anyways, they must have started talking about something about Mennonites or something, because then they were like, oh yeah, actually, such and such a thing. My great grandfather was German, and then I was like, that freaking sword. I'm like, did they have like swords in World War I? I don't think they had them in World War II. I'm like, great grandfather. I'm like, was your grandfather in the German army? He wouldn't have been a Nazi because that would have been in World War II. But anyways, trying to put all this stuff together. He dies. I come back. She calls me, tells me that. Then she also asks, hey, I also have some work. Okay, cool. So I go. She needed me to put a beam under her deck because whoever built the deck, the people who moved the house built the deck and they didn't put a proper sized beam under there. Cool. Come, do that. And then she starts telling me, she's like, well, oh yeah. Sorry, lies. I'm getting it. There's a lot that happened. We tiled her bathroom and put in her shower and stuff and her vanity. And she wanted this mirror. She wanted this specific mirror that was from that store that's called like, I don't know how to say it, but it's like JYSK.
Just.
Jisk? That's how you say it?
Yeah.
Okay. So we went there. Because the mirror that they sent her was broken. So I drove her to the store, me and her in my truck. And this is where she just unloaded the whole craziness, okay? So she's like, yeah, well. So earlier,
John.
oh shit. I'm gonna have to bleep that.
Yeah, you're right. Don't forget.
So earlier, she had said that, did I already say that she said John's not her husband?
No.
Okay, when she said, oh, damn it, when she told me that, I was like, what are you talking about? She told me that before he died. He used to be taller, he used to be this. She told me, I was building their shed, and she's like, oh, you're putting up the siding. She's like, one time I caught my husband putting up siding on the shed. And I was like, caught him? Like, was he not supposed to do that?
What?
He's like, he's not a handy man. That's why we have you. And I was like, okay, interesting.
I'm so confused.
And yeah,
Hey.
I was.
Yeah.
That's all she said.
Okay.
And then I came back again because he came home or something.
She's like sprinkling clues.
Of something.
What's clues?
Clues.
Oh!
Holy shit.
What's clues?
Oh my
I
god.
thought you meant she was like, oh, so I'm sprinkling. I don't know.
What the
I
heck?
don't know. Well, the story is weird. It could have been anything.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
Sorry, the story is weird. And since it happened so long ago, it's kind of convoluted the way I'm saying it because I keep remembering things.
Right.
That's how the story is going to be. I'm going to keep remembering shit.
That's okay.
Anyway. Yeah. So her husband must have come back. And then so later, she said some more. She's like, oh, like I didn't ask her because I didn't.
She said, hey, this isn't my husband already?
No.
No. She said like, hey, my husband's not a handyman.
Right, okay,
He's
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So then I'm putting up the tin on the ceiling, on the roof. And she's like, oh yeah, you're doing good there. John said that he actually likes the way, because he was an engineer or something. He likes the way that you did because I made the trusses.
Okay.
And I didn't make them with gang nails. I made them out of like plywood to connect them, and I glued and screwed and stuff.
Okay.
And so then they liked the way I did that because it saved them some money rather than getting a truss package ordered for a freaking shed that was like 12 by 20 or whatever it was, right? So, yeah, I put that in. He's like, yeah, he was saying that. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know what my husband would have thought of it, but or something like that. So, said something like as if this John was not that John. And I was like, you're all right. But at first I still didn't know, right? Okay. Weird. And then she's like, then she says something, then she got me to plant trees one day. So I'm planting in trees. And she's like, oh yeah, at our campground, we actually put in these and they grow really well, which is why she picked this type of tree. Okay. Yeah, at our campground, we had blah, 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 and we had blah, blah, blah. And this is where
the murder.
This is where I lost my husband. And so then I was like, oh, you had a husband named John and now you remarried another man named John. Okay.
Oh.
That was my reaction in my mind.
Yeah.
But then she said, he doesn't look the same as he used to. That's how I know he's different. And I was like,
What?
yes. And I was like, okay. And he's like, he's an imposter.
What?
Yes. And you know how she figured it out? Apparently. So she's like, I'm planting the trees. And she's like, one day I came home and he was putting siding on one of the cabins at the campground.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, you have a campground, you need some work done. You put up a little bit of siding. No big deal. And then she repeated, he's not a handyman. He doesn't know how to do things like that. But he's also somehow an engineer, but I guess he's a different kind of engineer, whatever. I mean, there's plenty of different kinds of engineers, right? So, like in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what? How is this? Okay. I don't really want to hear this. Then she starts talking about Jehovah's Witnesses. And I'm like, well, okay, that's not necessarily a scary religion at all. All right. And then she starts talking about, like, not Illuminati, but kind of like Illuminati-esque things with, like, the imagery at this courthouse. Because one of the guys who I was working with there, he and his wife got divorced. And she asked, hey, how's so-and-so? And I'm like, oh, man, they got divorced, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, well, that's bad. That's too bad. I hope they didn't go to whatever type of court, whatever. Because when I went to that type of court, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wait, so you did get divorced? What?
Okay, what? Like, I am so intrigued.
Yeah, I was intrigued. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'm misunderstanding. Who is fake? What is fake? Was your husband, your ex-husband, a fraud, and this guy kind of looks like him? Like, what is happening, right?
Yeah, seriously.
So I'm like confused because she's telling me this story over months and years.
Right.
And I'm just remembering things and I'm trying to put it together, right?
Right.
So anyway, so she said she had to go to some court, whatever. All right. I hope he didn't have to go there either if it sucks, okay? Anyway, so let's skip back ahead. We're going to go get that mirror from Jisk.
Okay.
Okay? So I'm in the truck with her. And and then she starts saying, she's like, yeah, part of me is heartbroken because of John.
No, it's good still.
What was that?
I don't know.
Was that me or you?
I don't know.
Must have been.
But you can't stop the story. Like, keep going. Like.
So she's like, yeah, part of me is heartbroken and part of me is relieved because I'm no longer in danger. And I was like, what? Yeah, she's like, I never told you the story about how when we had the campground, when we first started getting answering machines. And I was like, or no, not answering machines.
Reservations?
No, what do you call it when you can put someone on hold and like you have another line?
It's putting someone on hold.
Yeah, whatever it's called when you have two lines or whatever.
Yeah.
On one phone or something. Hold on. Sorry, I don't want to get it was something like that. Something that's super normal now. No. Cell phones. It was cell phones. Okay. She first got cell phones. Okay, so they had a line at the campground.
Yeah.
And she happened to be at the campground. Phone rings, and it's John. Like she can see on the number. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Caller ID. That's the new thing. And cell phones. Okay. So it was. She saw caller ID, saw his name.
Yeah.
Okay, it's John. That's weird. Why is he calling me? I should be gone already. He should call my cell phone. She picks up. She's like, "Hello, hey, it's blah." No, he didn't introduce himself. That would be weird. But like, I can't remember what she said. Hey, it's blah blah blah. We're such and such is going to happen. Whatever he's saying, and then her cell phone rings. And then she goes, oh, sorry, John, I gotta get my phone. Yeah. Puts the phone down, answers this. Sees the caller ID, it's John.
What?
Yes. So she answers this John. Hello? Hey, something about could you do this or that on the way home, whatever, if you're not already too close to home or something like that. I can't remember exactly what she said, but something like that. And then so she says, okay, hangs up on this guy, who is presumably the real John, entertains the fake John, and goes, okay, yep, whatever, does whatever, hangs up the phone, and that was like confirmation. First, he's fixing a cabin that he would never do, apparently. And
dude, my heart.
Yeah, I feel uneasy.
Dude, can you imagine me just in the truck being like, right? Because like she is a nice woman. Yeah. By the way, speaking of wigs, many wigs.
Really?
Tons. That's why her hair was always so perfect.
Right.
Tons of wigs.
Cancer too?
I don't know.
Plot twist.
Or she's also an imposter.
She's the other John.
Okay. But listen. Okay. So
Maybe.
On her way home, she told me this before. I actually forgot about this. Part of the reason why she had the guns is because someone shot their vehicle.
Okay.
So that's why they had guns.
Okay.
Okay, so someone shot their vehicle, and that's all I knew. And then she told me, she's like, yeah. And so on my way home, going out of the campground, someone shot my windshield, and I'm like,
Right after the phone calls.
yeah, on our way home.
Okay.
And so she freaked out, and she is the type of person, it's reasonable to freak out if someone's shooting at you, of course.
Well, yeah.
But she's the type of woman, it seems, who would freak out over little things. Because one time, the way that the builder, whoever moved their house, did their basement, the tall wall or whatever, not the tall wall, but the wall that's for the walkout basement, it wasn't sealed along the bottom, so when it rained before they had the deck, it would come in. And so the water came into the basement, which was just concrete, and I was stepping in it, and I turned on the light switch, and she freaked out like I nearly blew up the house. And I'm like, well, I guess it could be dangerous, I'm sure. I mean, electricians at home might be like, you fucking idiot, she saved your life, but but she freaked out, right? And I was just like, ah. And then when I was doing the tin on the roof, I didn't have fall arrest. And if I did, I would have hit the ground before the freaking fall arrest deployed. It would anyways, but she was,
Okay, you have to get on with that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I just Okay, so she's that type of person, but she gets shot, or she doesn't get shot, but her windshield gets shot, and it just there's this she says, like a spider web.
Was the shot trying to hit her? Or do you?
I don't know.
Did you assume?
She thinks so.
Okay, that makes sense, I guess.
Okay.
She cruises away, goes to the police station. Reasonable thing to do,
Right.
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
The police say, oh, don't worry about it. It was just a pellet gun. But it shot through her windshield. I don't know if they found a bullet or if they found a pellet or however they knew it was a pellet gun, but they told her it's a pellet gun. Kind of weird to shoot at people driving with a pellet gun even.
Yeah.
And if it's powerful enough to go through the windshield, it could be like a hunting pellet gun or whatever,
Yeah.
right? Which I don't know if they could kill you, but
That would suck if you got hit with that shit.
of
Well,
course.
yeah.
Of course. Anyway, so
Whoa.
So,
Hold on. The police sound sus in this situation.
okay, but wait, there's more.
Okay. Oh shit.
So yes, Mrs.
Phyllis.
Phyllis, don't worry about it. You're just overreacting. It was just kids. It's like this is a campground. There's kids around. People, they probably thought you were a squirrel. They didn't say that. She didn't
About to
say that.
something.
She didn't say that. They said that, but they just kind of dismissed her, and she was thinking, oh well, maybe they just think, oh, I'm a hysterical woman, whatever.
Yeah.
Because she also reported her husband missing when he did the siding thing.
Okay, that part you didn't say.
I forgot.
Oh my god.
I forgot. So she reported him missing.
When she caught the dude siding.
Yes, because he was a little bit taller, looked like him, but was a little bit too tall.
Okay.
Or no, too short, sorry. Too short.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay. Whatever.
Oh, so
Okay.
now they just think she's crazy.
Yes.
Because her husband is there.
Yes.
Technically. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And so time goes on. Now, I forget, I'm probably going to remember some stuff. I forget exactly what she was saying, but a little bit later, someone gets murdered on their campsite, which is not necessarily...
Was it a woman?
No, it was a guy.
Oh.
And
John.
they found him, no. Oh, no, that would be juicy.
Yeah, I know.
No, it was, some guy.
Okay.
Got murdered because there was a gang or some sort of mob or something. And... Okay, so
They were camping?
So they were remember they were they're both engineers and they did shit with NASA or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
So she thinks that whoever is the mob, whatever, came to steal their shit somehow because they also still had the chemical plant. So I don't know why. Actually, hold on. I might be remembering this kind of awkwardly. Okay, so she had the chemical business with John, and then they bought the campground because they... Oh, shit. I can't remember. God damn it. At the time, I was just like, dude, this is the best and worst story to hear right now because, like, I don't know. Are you gonna just start stabbing me in the throat because, like, I'm another. Yes. So, okay. Someone does get murdered.
Okay.
She has newspapers and shit about it. Okay. So I'm like, okay, that's true. Whatever. She showed me later, and she showed me some other stuff as well, which I was just like, anyways, which I'll get to that.
Yeah.
So, someone gets murdered. The police come, and they apparently are like, it doesn't matter.
Oh my
gun.
God! Seriously?
It's fine. Someone is for real dead.
Yeah.
They're like, see that pellet gun?
Yeah. This is what a pellet gun does.
Yeah. But so he was in the lake or somewhere. He was somewhere kind of hidden, and they found him. And so I'm thinking maybe he like floated across the lake, and he wasn't actually dumped there. He just happened to go there. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Or just trying to get logic sense behind it because she sounds nuts. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So it's okay. So that happens, and then after that gets cleared up, they decide to sell the campground. And when they sell the campground, they keep getting like these weird folks coming by. And I'm like, well, you're selling something. They want to see it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. But apparently they're following her and she's seeing the same like cars near her.
Dude, I'm like starting to like feel weird.
I'm
just like, it's like it's happening to me.
Really uneasy.
It's like it's happening to me or some shit. I'm just like getting scared.
So like, dude, it was creepy to me first time I heard it. I've told this story a few times to people, and they all have this reaction.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, my one good friend, Ham, she told him some of this story too, so we compared notes. Yeah. Because he did their electric. And so I was like, hey, did they ever tell you?
Right.
It's like, yeah, I'm not supposed to tell John. And I was like,
right, because he's
an imposter, right? She told me that several times. She didn't just tell me it once and then again.
Right.
She told me it several times. Like, oh, and guess what else? And I always just like weird. And then before they had my good friend, they had a different electrician who they didn't like as much. And he told me, he's like, do you think they're kind of weird? And I was like, no, what do you mean? Because nothing like this happened yet. It was until after like I opened up their stuff with their permission. I wasn't just like, oh, what else, right? And I'm like, I'm seeing these books.
Like, I need to know some shit.
Yeah, but I didn't know.
Right.
I didn't know what there was to know.
Yeah, okay.
Right? So,
So
anyway, so the guy dies, whatever. She says it's covered. So they had to go to the courthouse and do some sort of paperwork and stuff. I don't know.
For the campground?
For the murder.
Oh, for the murder, okay.
Because there was still a person on their land.
Okay.
And so I was like, wait. Months ago, I hope that such and such and his ex-wife didn't have to go to this court. And she tells me, she's like, these cars followed me to the courthouse. And she said that when she was there, she's like, and they're all pedophiles. And I was like, what?
Wow, that is...
It's intense.
Egregious accusation if it's not true. Right? So I'm like...
How would you know?
Okay, this is how she knows. Okay, so she walked... so remember that book of potions?
Yeah.
I think it was hers. I don't know. I don't really believe in witchcraft and stuff, but so she goes into the courthouse, which is an old like building, whatever. It's
she knows she's being followed?
Yes, but it's kind of become normal, I think, at this point.
For her.
For her, yeah.
Okay.
So she walks in there and there's this mural on the floor and it has like some Latin or something, and somehow she knows how to read Latin. She knew what it said.
That's awesome.
And it said something about like the devil, something, blah, 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 whatever. And then she looked up, and on the ceiling there was another mural that mirrors it, and that one's heaven.
Right.
Okay.
And
that's cool.
And it says something else, whatever. Next time that she went to the court, this is where she thinks that there's a conspiracy against her in particular. And I don't know why, because she did tell me like random stuff at different times that I think she was trying to tell me like lots of detail, and I'm probably forgetting stuff. But when she went back to that courthouse later, I don't know, months later, however it was, the mural on the floor was gone and the mural on the top was gone. And she could see that the mural, because it was painted, she could see the real floor now. And it looked like there was like not a trap door, but like a trap door type thing that you couldn't see through the mural because of the busyness of the painting or whatever.
Wait, so they renovated and they...
Something. I don't know what they did. She never said this. She just said that that's where the pedophilia is. Okay?
In the courthouse.
In the mural.
Yeah, under the mural.
Right.
So there's stairs or something going down there.
Okay.
Okay? And then those police that didn't believe her about the windshield were there when she went to the courthouse. Both times. And they're street cops apparently, or they're on whatever. Like it's sheriffs who are in the courthouse, right? Why do you have these like RCMP or whatever they were? It doesn't make any sense. So I was like, okay. So she sees them.
I'm like vibrating. Like, holy shit.
She sees them, right? And and whatever. She's still dealing with fake John.
Yeah.
And she's like realizing, okay, he doesn't like tomato soup anymore. He doesn't, all these behavioral changes. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. Listening to this, she says, okay, so they sold the campground. They sold the campground.
Okay.
And it's going to someone else. But they have some sort of something that they still manage something or something. They're still tied to it somehow. But she didn't want to be, but John really wanted to be. And she thought that was suspicious. Because this dude died there.
Yeah.
It's creepy, there's all this headache, all this paperwork they had to do, whatever. Okay? She decides, we're going to move to Alberta. And this was years ago still. Like in the 2000s or something.
Okay.
Okay? So we're going to move to Alberta. So they moved to Alberta. They moved to Stony Plain. And they bought some historic house there or whatever. Then they had issues with the same police here.
What?
So then she's thinking, okay, these policemen are not real. And that's why they dismissed her. That's why they're everywhere. Oh, I need to call the police?
I feel like creeped out.
It is creepy.
Yeah, like...
Okay, so when she was here, she got shot again.
What?
She calls the police. It's them.
What?
So
What is going on?
It's those police officers. Okay? And they're here. Now, the RCMP, they do get moved around.
Yeah, but come on.
That is a mad coincidence, though.
Yeah, but come on.
Right? Okay? So now she doesn't like here anymore.
No.
She moves back.
I wouldn't like anywhere.
She moves back.
Okay.
They both move back over there. Now, John, he gets cancer. And I think it's from working with chemicals his whole life. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know, of course. She thinks that because she moved here with the real John. They couldn't get murdered for somehow. They couldn't get assassinated. They moved back. The fake John injected him with some sort of cancer. Okay, whatever. I guess
So now she's back with the real John.
Yeah, so real John and fake John don't know about it. Or sorry, real John doesn't know
Well, fake John.
fake John, but fake John knows about them, and he's inserting himself like
whenever John's not around.
Yes.
Right, which is why she got the phone call from
Yeah, from both of
From
them.
both-
fake one
Yeah.
and then the real one.
Okay.
Yeah, because so he's not dead, but she's like, well, how come when we're in Alberta he's normal again? He likes tomato soup again. How come he's taller? How come he's whatever, bigger, stronger? So then they go back to Winnipeg or wherever. They go to some other province. They live there for a while. And then oh yes, this is when they sell the campground. They still had it when they moved here.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Okay.
Then they go back there and then they live on the campground. That's what it was.
That.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah. But then they're being harassed by like developers and stuff, whatever. It's things that are normal. And whatever happens, I don't remember exactly what she said, if there was anything crazy, except for the fact that fake John was back.
Okay.
So then...
Because they moved back.
Yeah.
Yes. But then John gets cancer.
Real John.
Real John.
Okay.
Wait. How does real John have cancer? Hold on. If they moved back to Winnipeg, wouldn't that be fake John?
Well, both of them moved back. Real John moves back too. So now they're reunited with fake John.
Yeah.
Fake John stayed there because he didn't know where they went. And then they found them by somehow locating them and then trying to kill them.
Right, because she got shot at again.
Right.
And the police were there.
I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is true because crazy shit happens, right?
Right.
I'm like, okay, so if you worked for NASA or did something for NASA, what you could have had like some chemical things for other things, secret projects, who knows,
Sure.
right? And like people, the government kills people just cause.
Yeah, of course.
Right? So I'm like, maybe I'm hanging on because she's nice and she hasn't like done anything shitty or weird to me. So I'm like, why would she lie? Why would she think this? Anyway, yeah, then that's when they sell the campground. Sorry. And then they move back to where they live now. And then that's when I met them. Fast forward to him dying. So real John dies before they move back here. Fake John moves with her here.
What?
Yes. So the John who I know is the fake John.
Okay, so but he got cancer too.
Yes, on purpose. Because he was a agent of
So
whatever.
so does she know that real John died, or did they keep that a secret and then
she
replace him?
thinks that they managed to kill him over there. He had cancer for real, so now fake John needed to get cancer.
What?
Yeah. And so she thinks that because then
Okay.
So we get the mirror, we come home. She's telling me the story on the way home too, right? When we get home or to her house.
Yeah.
So when she showed me the what did I forget what I was saying.
I forget too.
She showed me some of her books. Oh, she showed me the newspaper clippings of the murder
Okay.
on her thing, right? And then she shows me her wedding photos. And she's like, this is the John that I married. And I look at it, and I'm like, this is the same fucking guy that I know. Like, this is him. I'm like, he looks healthier, and he does look bigger. But John, who I knew, was already advanced sick.
Right.
He only, like, I worked for them for 4 years, and he was dying the entire time. So, and he was sick. Like, sometimes he'd have oxygen, sometimes he had home care or whatever it's called, so he'd have nurses or whatever come over, right? So he was sick. So I'm looking at the wedding photos, and I'm like, this is exactly him. Like, he has that Steve Buscemi kind of look, right? There's not very many people who are that kind of look, you know? Right? So I'm like, this is him. He looks better, healthy, of course, but I'm like, this is him. I'm like, but she said that he was smaller already before he had cancer. So what the frick? I'm like, how? And like, she noticed a difference. Sometimes he would be small, sometimes he'd be bigger. Sometimes he'd fix the walls, sometimes he didn't know what he was doing with tools.
Hold on a second. How was fake John, fixing the siding? Where was real John?
I don't know. She just saw him.
Caught him. That's what she said. She caught him.
That was the first time that she noticed that he wasn't himself. And that's what she said to me.
Yeah.
He's not himself, which made me think, oh, okay, people aren't themselves when they get sick, of course.
Yeah.
No, he's not himself, she was saying. That's not him. He's fixing a wall because he apparently doesn't know how to use any tools, which I don't find that exactly convincing because everyone knows how to use tools a little bit.
Some don't.
Okay, well, maybe.
Okay.
But, so, So in all this, storytelling that she told me, she's like, I've written about all of it.
That's what all her writing was about.
In those books.
I think so. Because it's a pen name. Because she had to protect herself.
Holy shit.
Holy shit, I need to get my hand on those books.
Yeah. She's dead now.
Oh.
Continue.
Yeah, seriously, we need to finish the story.
So, yeah, it's basically done. So she
what?
said that she wrote about it all. Yeah, there's no satisfying ending. I'm sorry.
What? Are you kidding me? Oh, I can't believe you right now.
That's all I know, though.
I am pissed.
But like she had like not facts, what do you say, like she had like
There was
stories
evidence.
and then backup stories, like she was like, and I think this because of this
Circumstantial evidence.
sure, yeah, and then of course she had the murder thing. So then I was thinking, okay, so murders do happen,
Yeah.
right? There was one at the mall just the other week.
Are you sure?
Or sorry, not a murder, but a shooting.
Okay.
Someone could have easily gotten murdered there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That is a thing that happens all the time. Okay. Now you just happen, as me being her, okay, I think my husband's an imposter. Could be mental, like, illness or something, right? Who knows? I didn't get that vibe from her necessarily, but she was a little weird, but she was also very nice and very generous.
Yeah.
And sorry, pedophiles. Okay.
Right.
When she moved here, she also thinks that her daughter-in-law was replaced. Okay, so when she told me the pedophile thing,
Yeah.
because she randomly told me that she no longer is able to see her grandkids, and I was like, why? That's weird. She's like, because Sasha, I'm just making up a name, says grandma's a pedophile, and I was like, what?
Who's grandma?
Herself.
Phyllis.
Phyllis is.
Phyllis is a pedophile?
No, that's what she's being accused
that's what her
of
daughter
By
said.
the
by her own daughter-in-law,
daughter-in-law, meaning
her son's wife.
wife.
Yes, and she's like she's like when John died. What did I call her? Sasha started acting weird. Started being different.
In what way?
She's
not herself.
She's not her.
She's replaced.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
she's
so-
noticed, she
and,
noticed right away.
and she started accusing her of being a pedophile.
To whom?
To I don't know, whoever that would matter to. So, which is a crazy freaking thing to accuse someone of.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, I would never say that about someone unless I knew.
Right.
But, and I'm hoping and I'm assuming that she's not, because her sons still were like chill with her and with their kids and stuff too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right? So I'm like, she's probably not. I would never let my kids around a pedophile ever. So, but I'm different than them. Maybe is that unreasonable though to keep your right? So I'm like thinking, okay, so she must not be, but her own daughter or daughter-in-law is saying this. So this is what she was telling me on the way home, talking about the pedophiles in the courthouse, talking about because the guy who I worked for, or who worked for me, and his wife, they have kids. I hope they don't have to go to this court, because that court has pedophiles.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
How did she know that there were pedophiles there?
Oh,
This is where
she deciphered the language in the mural. And she asked, she asked those two cops, do you know what that means? That means something about kids, something, whatever. I can't remember what she said, but she said it like it was normal.
And
Whatever.
then that's why they changed it.
Yeah.
Yes.
They had to get rid of it.
Yes.
What the?
Yeah, what the?
Okay.
Okay, this feels like too much of a coincidence.
I feel like there's too much different types of conspiracy in one person.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of weird.
So
murders.
She must know something that.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Why
thinking.
would they be targets if?
Yeah, something. Yeah.
I don't know.
What is the reason?
She never told me like, oh, I'm.
Why would
What?
the daughter-in-law call her a pedophile? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, me too.
Why would
To
what-
discredit her rantings, I think.
Oh.
Because she wrote these books and stuff, and she said that she was published too. So those things that I found, like there was boxes of them.
I was just waiting for that the whole time.
Shit.
Oh no, dude, is that gonna come out? Oh man.
Yeah. God forbid you get your sweater dirty.
Damn it.
Oh man.
Oh, you can't even tell.
Yeah. So so now she's being accused of being a pedophile, randomly, suddenly.
Is it affecting anything in her life?
I mean, that would be devastating.
Yeah, it would.
Well, she can't see her
imagine-
grandkids now.
Oh.
That's the problem here.
Yeah, and she also had to talk to like a social worker or something. So her not her granddaughter, her daughter-in-law is now the new agent
Because John died.
because the fake John died. Yes.
Imagine being an agent and then sorry, you have to get cancer.
Yeah, that's what I didn't get. I
Yeah.
was like, wait, so he died of cancer? And she's like, yeah, because he fell in love with her, so he abandoned his mission. And I was like,
Was she
So
still-
then he got cancer.
he got cancer on purpose.
Right, but then he didn't want cancer because he was in love with her. Or he wanted cancer because he was in love with her and he wanted to stay with her.
Something. Dude, I
But
don't.
that is just the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Yes, it is very crazy. Yeah, there's some more stuff in there that I'm kind of forgetting. I wish I could have told it in the sequence
Yeah,
that I
we'll
actually
think
remember.
about it and then you can tell us next time.
Man, I don't.
That's absolutely insane.
It is insane.
Dang, I was really invested in that. I wish that there wasn't so many loose ends and like.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
again. I'm full of questions.
But like, if she would have told you, it would probably be better because she knows
yeah,
it, right?
obviously.
And
Right.
like,
So how
I'm
did-
remembering
How did she die? You said she died?
stroke. Dude, was
How
she?
long ago or what?
And she was only.
What they do with all her stuff? Like, where is it all?
It might still be there. I drove by it the other day.
Did you actually?
And her-
Is there
her-
fake John in there?
Her. Oh,
Is there
imagine.
another John and Phyllis?
That would creep me
Oh
out,
my
dude.
God, that's
What if you saw her in the window?
yeah.
Oh, I would-
And then she was just like,
Josh, can we go drive past there one day?
When I drive you home.
Oh no, it's too freaky. It's nighttime.
yeah, dude, what if you guys
I'm way
get
too
stuck
scared.
in the snow?
I'm sweating. I'm freaking out.
Well, so her truck is still there. So
What?
obviously her family still owns the property. It's big. It's like
I wonder if she
80
told her
acres.
family.
yes,
What did
they
think?
did. Because
I'm freaking out.
It's John!
Don't!
my dog is freaking out.
Maybe it is John.
She had many stories, and he had 0 stories about that. But he had, so the sword and stuff, I was like, okay, well, Illuminati shit, I don't know. Do they have weird, whatever, cult or whatever? Because she would talk about cult shit. Because
What was the potion book about?
I don't know.
You think
but
Maybe it
her
wasn't
being able to
potions,
read the
it was-
freaking Latin on the floor, or whatever language was on the floor
Yeah.
and on the ceiling, why would they paint over those murals? Like, that's
clearly hiding something.
Yeah, that is weird.
That's very strange.
cool. Right? And the one on the
Also,
ceiling.
the cop thing. That,
Yeah, that is.
The same cops, yes. Now this is someone who didn't recognize her own husband, right? If she's making it up, she could have just been like, "Oh, that guy has a mustache. Those guys had mustaches." You know what I mean?
Why
Yeah.
would
Who-
they be
who knows-
stupid enough to use the same 2 cops?
Well, because they're not cops.
Because they're agents or something.
yeah, but wouldn't you think that? Did they
Yeah,
not
but-
know that? So they.
Why didn't they have 2 other agents?
Yeah,
Oh,
why
yeah.
didn't they have multiple different interchanging
Well,
with
exactly.
disguises and shit so they would never
Anybody
know?
would recognize that.
But I
it's the
think
same
maybe-
people.
maybe-
Anyone would recognize that?
Well, it's the
Hello,
same-
they're
it's the
not
same
even
people.
in costume. Yeah, they would recognize the same people, I would
Yeah,
think.
I would
So
think.
why wouldn't
Yeah.
you?
But maybe it's because when she tells people, they go like, "That
Every-
doesn't make sense. Why would the cops come here and follow you?"
And like, yeah.
Right. Okay, so it's
And why-
discrediting-
yeah, they
Anyways,
don't
It
believe
makes her
anything she
sound
says.
crazy when she tells, because it sounded crazy to me. I was kind of like uncomfortable. driving, just being like,
Yeah, I was
Dude,
uncomfortable hearing
just-
listening to that story too, actually.
what?
I was uncomfortable listening to that
Oh,
story.
I thought you said you had a story like that. Do
No, no, I would. No thanks. Nothing like that.
you? Well,
the heck?
that was.
I wonder. Yeah.
That's absolutely batshit.
So we were going to talk about.
The worst trouble that we got as kids.
Yeah. Is that
Do you want to?
Yeah, I want to tell this because
Okay.
I'll tell one
Okay, one more.
more story.
Okay.
You should tell one too. But you go ahead. I know you have some good ones. Don't obviously tell anything that's.
I only have like stuff that people really shouldn't know.
Yeah, don't tell those ones.
No.
But there's some funny ones, I think. Okay, go ahead.
So I remember one time. I think I've said this before too, probably. But I used to go to Broxton Park School.
You did?
And
Wait, did you go there?
I've been there.
Dude, what?
Yeah.
And,
That's weird.
There was this teacher named Miss Corpola or some shit. I can't.
Dude, no names.
Miss. Yeah, or some shit. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Wait,
Kevin
yeah,
Max, that
I
doesn't
don't-
sound familiar.
Yeah,
No, it
I
doesn't
don't know.
actually.
I don't know what it's.
Wait, were you actually just disguising a name?
I don't know.
Because I don't remember that person at all.
Good.
Yeah.
So this teacher was like grade 5 or something, and I was in grade.
You would have been in grade 8 because
Whenever
that's when
Shelby was there.
That's
Grade
when
8.
we.
You
Then
were
that
in
wasn't
You're-
Broxton.
You were in
That
grade
was
8.
Queen Street.
I was in grade 9.
That
I was
not
because
Queen Street.
grade 9 was my only year in Broxton.
Yeah, grade 8 was
so
my
you guys
only
were in
year
grade 8.
Broxton.
So you're grade 8.
Yeah.
Wait, did you say Broxton? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Broxton. So,
Okay.
anyways, it was like one of those days where it's like the weather was so shit, so like all the kids stayed inside and played in the gyms for recess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember those days, but this particular day, and when I was in grade 8, dude, I was a shithead.
Yeah.
Like I would do things to my
Yeah.
female friends
Yeah,
that
you-
I probably shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
Like take their purses and then take things out
And then throw their chopsticks in the trash. Just everything. Just
You did that to
he
you?
was just a shithead. Oh yeah.
So like I saw.
Okay, for a second, I thought you were like, I don't know if people saw my face when you said I've done shitty things to my female friends. I was like, what did you do?
Oh,
Not like that.
not like that, dude. I was in grade
Dude.
8.
He was, yeah.
You were breaking my
He
heart
was
for a
just
minute.
brat. Breaking my heart.
No, like I would like
Just
I was
brat.
like obviously they don't want me to go through their purse.
No, probably
right?
not.
That's not something, but I would do it because like they were my friends, and then I would be like hip pads, and I would make fun of them,
Right,
right?
yeah.
Such a dick.
Right? Juvenile behavior.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But I thought it was.
You don't like that anymore.
I thought it was funny, right?
He still does it.
Oh my god! So recess. We were in the small gym. Me, Kayla, and Shelby, and
No,
there
we
was
didn't do names.
huh?
No, that's fine. Those
Okay.
names were fine.
Okay.
Okay, so they were. I was in the gym with them, and I can't remember what exactly was happening. I saw a purse, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's Shelby's purse." So I went over there to the purse. Okay, I started rummaging around, started looking for things, and then I saw car keys, and I was like, "This is not Shelby's purse." And as I go, "Oh no," Mrs.
What's her face?
What's her face goes, "Wah!" I was like, oh. And then like I had to like, she's like, get it off this right now. I was like, how am I gonna say,
I thought.
oh, I thought it was my friend.
Is that what you think?
Yeah, so I was like, oh. So I was like, oh shit. So I go to the office and I'm sitting in the back before I have to talk to the principal. And no shot. Freaking Shelby and Kayla come to my rescue. But not really. Because it's like, they come in and they're like, oh my god, hey, so sorry. Jakota thought that it was my purse. He does this all the time. I was like, oh no! Like I heard it, right? I could hear it because the
Oh,
door-
you were in the detention room?
I was in the detention room and behind the office, right?
Yeah.
Right? I was right there. They're like, he does it all the time. Don't worry about it. But I was like, cringe.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, super cringe. I go to the right. That didn't help me at all.
No, definitely.
Right. So recess is over.
Oh, frick, that's funny.
Go to the principal. He's pissed. Okay, he's pissed. But like, I was kind of like in this like rebellious mood for some strange reason, where I was like,
That's weird.
I was all like, pretending like
Just stoic.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I don't even
That's what I was
care.
doing. Yeah, exactly. So he was pissed, like
Do your worst.
right off the bat.
Who was it?
Mr. McConnell,
Oh yeah, okay.
the new
Yeah, the new one, dude. He was pissed at me one time too. Go on.
and so he goes, freaking
His eyebrows.
super pissed.
His Gene
And he's
Levy
like- and
eyebrows.
what did he say? He was like, so I heard you went through someone's or Mrs. whoever's purse, and like he wouldn't let me explain like the conundrum, right? Of,
Right.
Like,
The
hey,
circumstances are actually.
yeah.
I
So he
thought-
says, something about like, why are you making an excuse? Why don't you take it like a man and admit
What
your
did.
your fault?
Oh,
And I was
jeez.
like, oh, well, yes, I did this,
Yeah.
right? Duh, you've caught me in the freaking in the thing. But like, he didn't let me explain that it was there was no ill intent. I wasn't trying to steal anything, right? So he made me apologize to her, right? He was like, he let me go. So like, you only talked to me for about 5 minutes.
So no trouble. in
no
the end.
real trouble, but it was
Probably
like,
the embarrassment was enough
Yeah.
or something.
I was hella embarrassed, dude.
Yeah.
So like, I was trying to think of like when he let me go. I was trying to think of how I'm going to say sorry for accidentally on purpose going through your purse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't
You
know
know, I just
how.
said sorry for
So
your
what I
accident.
did is exactly I just went.
Sorry.
I went up to her stupid class, right, and then I was like,
Well, her whole class was there because it was after recess.
no, I think I went. No one was there. It was just her.
Oh.
So I'm assuming
After school or
I
something?
must have went after school or something or something. I
Okay.
think he gave me a deadline. He was like, "Get it done today, though." I was like, "Okay." Super cringing all the way to her room, like thinking what I was gonna say. So what I did
She was a long-term sub, right? That's
I
who
think
it was.
she was a new.
Or maybe a new teacher.
I think she was Dalton's teacher.
Oh, yes, long-term sub because Mrs. W went on stress leave.
Okay.
Yes, that's who it was. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, you must be right. Yes. So I go to her classroom or whatever. She's standing there, or whatever, and then I said, "Hey, I'm sorry for going through your purse," and then she forgave me like immediately, and
Oh, that's nice.
and then that. So now, not the worst trouble I've ever been in, but what the like fuck. Like what is like, and I did it to myself,
Yeah.
like right, like and like
legit.
it sucked because like if I had like noticed the keys like 10 seconds earlier,
Yeah.
right, I would have already been like, nope,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not my friend's purse that I shouldn't be going through anyways.
Right.
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
I was so embarrassed because like, what are you doing? You know, like in front of the whole gym.
I mean, you're probably like,
My purse is right here.
wait, it's on your lap?
It's on the bench. I'm sitting on the bench.
Oh, you're straddling. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I must have been straddling. I don't know. It was the benches on the sides of the
Yeah.
of the gym. No. It was in the small gym.
Oh, yeah.
The
Okay.
big gym and then the small gym is right
Yeah,
next to it,
yeah.
right? Small gym. Yeah.
Dude, that's hilarious.
Okay, I have one.
Okay, go.
Okay, so I was a really terrible child.
Yes.
We all know that.
Hey, at first you were very sweet though.
Yes. No, I was a terrible child. I was a sweet kid, but I had lots of trauma. But
Yes.
it goes on. Anyways, and I'm gonna tone it down even a little.
Yeah. Just say what you want to say.
Okay, so
This is a show for entertainment.
in
not-
junior high, grade 9, me and my best friend decided we were gonna skip school grade 9 exams
Smart.
and get drunk.
Oh, okay.
So it's like 10 in the morning and we're loaded. And we're like, you know what we should do?
At
We should go to school. Yeah. So we decide we're gonna go to school.
Just hams.
And I don't even know what our plan was. So we're walking to school. This is a great idea. Yeah, this is gonna be so fun. What are we gonna do to get there? I don't know. We walk in and all the kids are in the gym writing exams.
Yeah.
We bust the doors open, run in there, run up to our friends, and now all the teachers are coming running down the hallway, the principals and everybody. And the teacher in there is like, hey, you guys can't be in here. Well, obviously, everyone's trying to control us.
Right. And you're probably laughing.
Oh, man. It was
You're
just
loud.
an absolute disaster. So I come out of the gym. I have teachers coming from this way. Teachers coming from this way. The principal comes, and he grabs me and puts me on the floor, right? Try and calm me
What?
down. Yeah.
He grabbed
And then
you?
my friend comes running like this and body checks him.
Oh!
Yes! So we stand
Hey,
up.
hold on. Like he bear hugged you or
No,
what?
like, so he grabbed my shoulders, right, and just placed me down.
Right.
And then he's like trying to like hold me there because I'm obviously at this point, I'm at this stage, I'm freaking out.
Right.
She just comes running like this, just body checks him. We get up. We're like, okay.
Wait, does he go
let's
sprawling?
leave. Well, I don't know exactly
Okay.
what he did. I wish I had more details, but. So we get up, we decide to leave. We're halfway off the schoolyard. And we're like, you know what? We should go back. Like, seriously. School's on lockdown.
Because of you guys.
Yeah. So we decided to go back. Can't get any of the doors
Did they know
open.
you were students though?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Right.
Because it's the end of the year. So then one of our teachers come out and he's like, sits us down at the picnic table. And he's trying to chat with us, like calm us down or whatever. And then the cops show up behind us.
Of course, yeah.
And me and her just look at each other and we just start running.
Yeah.
Full blast. And he grabs us by our hoods like this. Because he caught up to us. And he's a big dude. He grabs us like this, pulls us back.
Dude, you guys were drunk though, so you're probably not running that fast.
We're probably not. In my head, it felt extremely fast.
You're just like,
We're like this. Just stumbling. Didn't even make it off the picnic table, probably. And then
you're like 10 feet away.
And then, so she bites him.
Oh.
And I supposedly hit him, but I don't think I did.
Like you punched him? He thinks?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then.
Wait, he probably just said that so he could keep you.
So we ended up getting put in the cop car, taken to the drunk tank. And I spent my first time in the drunk tank when I was 14. Not a moment I'm proud of, but I mean, that's the most. So that's the most trouble I've ever been in. For sure. I think.
I forgot I ran from the cops.
But then I was
way
arrested
worse.
2 more times, but like just like misdemeanors, like alcohol in public or whatever.
Yeah.
Like nothing like going to the cop shop or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
But after that, I was like never again getting in trouble with the law. That's not fun.
What? When did you run from the police?
Many times.
Like
That's
like
why
that?
he's never gotten caught.
I've never been caught.
Yeah. See.
Yeah,
Lucky.
me neither. But like, I've only ran like for avoiding speeding tickets.
I've ran from physically on my feet being chased.
Dude, I love that. I've only done that.
I love that.
It's so exhilarating.
Very
I did that at home when we still lived at home because there was a curfew, and he probably wasn't even a cop. He's probably just a security dude.
So dumb.
But me and remember,
Yeah.
him, we would always just be chilling, and then like the people on the golf carts would be like, "What are you boys doing?" And we would just be like, "Ah!" But then when we would go out, sometimes they would have the security dude, and he would come around, and we would just book it, and we knew where all the trails were, so we'd go down the trails. Oh, it was so fun. But I don't think I've ever ran on foot from like a cop.
Yeah. Well, in my head, I think I ran, but I mean, who really knows at this point? Right? Know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there at the picnic table, and he grabs you. Ah! You bite him, or no, your friend did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you ran
Yeah.
on foot.
Yeah.
When?
wanna hear that?
Yeah.
Once upon a time.
Oh God.
Okay.
So excited?
I worked at Dairy Queen at this. I was 14 or 15. No,
Yeah.
I was 16.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
What the? Was that you?
No.
That's John.
Stop. Don't.
So I was a teenager.
Just freaking
Just
sweating.
warm. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Didn't mean to interrupt you.
I was a teenager. Okay. I met this guy, and he was a drug dealer. Okay. And this is around when I first started kind of like smoking weed. So like I was a young kid. I met this drug dealer at this baseball diamond that I was chilling at.
That sounds legit.
And he was like, "Yo, I just got out of jail." What for? Slanging drugs. And I was like, "Oh." He was like, "Yeah, you want some?" I was like, "Yeah."
Wait, was he a cop?
No.
Oh, okay.
This guy was not a cop. Okay? He looked like he had money. But
Oh, like
he
trailer
was,
park
he was, yeah.
style?
Yes. Yes.
King of the trailer court.
Anyway, so I met him, and I think this was when I was kicked out of the house at this point. I think I'm not sure. I think I was living on the streets.
Yeah, been there.
Yeah, I think I was living on the streets. So like it didn't really matter what I did,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So I met him at a baseball diamond. Days go by. I freaking meet up with him again. I think I was buying. I was trying to score, and he says, "Okay, meet me at St. Joe's school."
Yeah.
You know
Okay.
where St. Joe's is?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you look at St. Joe's, there's like houses right here, and
Yeah.
here's the school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We decided to sit right here. So there's fence, houses,
Yeah.
and then here's like the parking lot or whatever. Right?
Oh,
so
yeah,
there's
yeah.
a little secluded area, sort of. There's a fence right there and the house right there. So like I was with my old best friend. He was Asian. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was with my Asian friend,
Yeah.
and this was me,
Dude, talk about trouble.
Yeah.
Asian, and drug dealer.
By the way, his nickname was literally Asian.
So, I'm sitting. I think Asian is standing. I'm sitting because I got the sack, and he said roll one, and I go, okay, great. So I'm hippie picking or whatever, my hands or whatever, talking loud as shit about nefarious like things. You know what I mean? Just things you shouldn't be openly. Oh yeah, so I just sold a freaking whatever.
I killed John.
Yeah, exactly. Just saying, just reckless speech,
Yeah.
right? And I'm just, you know,
Yeah, no, I know.
ready to smoke this, right? I hadn't even rolled it completely yet. I was still hippie picking it, and no shot, like at the corner of my eye, a police car comes.
Oh, it knew.
Knew exactly where we were.
Did it come onto the lawn?
I was out of there like Roadrunner. Me. I was freaking out of there. I was sitting here. Remember, I'm going like this, okay? And at the corner of my eye, and all three of us, it was like we didn't even have to say anything. It was just done.
Yeah.
Out, okay?
Just the clouds.
Yeah.
So you know how there was the school, and then there was like the trees into the trails, into the Partissa? Dude, I lost my shoe.
Oh, no.
I, like, and my shoe was like, bleh.
Dude, and it just says Jakota.
God, that would have sucked. So you imagine how dumb I looked when I was running? Trying to freaking run properly? Holy shit. I have the weed in my hands. Friggin', dude, I ripped through those trees, not even on the trail. Okay? There's a trail, but we ripped through
You
that.
didn't want him to be able to follow you.
No, that's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Too, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
So so it was drug dealer, Asian. I stuck with more or less, Asian was with me. And so I had in my hand.
Yeah.
We bushwhacked through it and finally reached cement. Buddy's like, you keep that shit, I'm going over here. I'm going this way. You don't even, who are you? He left. And then me and Age were like, fuck, let's go this way. And so we went to Bob Marley we ran all the way to fucking Bob Marley, and
Dude, just explain. People are not gonna know.
Bob Marley is a park, so it's people go for smoke sessions and whatever, right? Not the smartest place to go.
No, seriously.
But we were like, okay, so we lost him, and then we went to someone's house after that. We're like, we caught our breath.
One shoe.
Yes, I went back.
Why?
Because I needed a shoe, dude. We waited.
Why didn't you go to his house?
We went to I can't remember whose house we went to.
I guess you're kind of far from.
We laid out. We laid tight for hours.
That was
and then I went back, and then of course my shoe was still there.
So he probably never even fought. He was like,
There's no way he would have ran after 3 different dudes.
He probably like, it's not worth it.
I'm not sure, but there was activity around because we were on the phone with people that.
Oh, so they were looking for you.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They were looking for us because we were on the phone with, hey, we just ran from. Can we whatever, right? And then we made a pit stop at the Bob Marley, and then we.
Idiots.
Yeah, no shit.
No, I know, but yeah, that's just
Wait,
the
so
good
the
one.
drug
That was a
dealer
good story.
gave you all his weed.
what was in my hand.
Just the one joint.
Oh, so,
Yeah.
Okay.
Score.
Yeah. No, I wish.
Did you ever meet up with him again?
Hell no.
You never saw him ever.
No. I don't recall ever. You know what? I might have bought from him a couple more times, but I found a new drug dealer. So he wasn't easy to get a hold of.
Yeah, not a drug dealer's the government.
He wasn't very reliable. So like,
Oh yeah.
so like usually when that happens, you just find someone else. And it was so easy to. It's so easy. Back then, there was no. You couldn't go to a dispensary like you can now.
Yeah.
Fun times though.
That's hilarious.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Man. All right. Well, actually, his name wasn't Asian. It was Little Asian.
Whatever.
Sorry.
He was an asshole.
He wasn't. He is.
Your turn to pick.
What's this?
This is a topic for next week.
I didn't get to put any topics in there.
We didn't either.
Oh.
If you guys would like to suggest a topic, please go over to our Instagram, put it in the comment section of one of the posts, and hopefully we'll see it, and we'll add it to the lunchbox. What is it?
All right. We already talked about it today.
Oh, did we?
Scariest moment on the job.
Oh, okay. I mean, it was creepy, but I wasn't scared.
No,
but,
I guess.
Yeah, so who suggested that? That was Martha suggested that.
Cool.
So we'll let Sully hang on to that. In the meantime, guys, check out the links in the description to our socials. And his website, he has a very official website. It is a store. It is a gallery. It is a...
It's all There's more to it.
You need it to be.
There's more to it, but I'm still adding to it. So you just have to check it out.
Yeah. There might even be... Actually, I'm not going to say that because I don't know if you want people to know that. Find it on your own.
Yeah.
That's it.
The end.
Done.
Oh, that was a good one.
Dude, that was...
You guys fucking kill me, man.
That was a trip.
That was